We offer you all kinds of, a lot of diversity when it comes to Meadow Valley, and this Mixed Hosta collection is gorgeous. I know my dad had these at his garden up in New England, loved them, and he would disperse them around. They're perfect for mixing, putting on borders.
They are.
But we're going to give you 7 field-grown dormant Hosta plants for you to take care of. They can pretty much go anywhere, right, Michael?
Absolutely. Hostas are super versatile. They'll grow in sun, they'll grow in shade, they'll grow in full shade as well. They'll grow in those dry, awkward areas beneath trees and shrubs. They will multiply as well. This collection of 7 varieties are not just new and award-winning varieties, but they will also cover an area of 60 square feet.
Look at that.
So you can grow these in your yard, in the border, alongside the pathway, maybe in one of those forgotten corners of the yard where you haven't had any colour for years.
Right.
Add some colour with these ever blooming, ever leafed hostas. They're amazing. And what you see on the table here today is 7 plants worth.
This is what
so
they'll
you
look
can
like.
see
Yeah.
the collection that you can create with this. You can grow them in the yard, but you can also grow them in containers. These silver containers look really beautiful with these because they really play off with the colours of the leaves. Every plant in this collection will have a different coloured leaf as well. Even when they're not in flower, you've got the colour from these plants.
That's what I love about them.
Which other plants give you that?
They're beautiful, almost like a variegated kind of, you see the color that kind of disperses in between. So they pop even before they flower. But listen, this one we don't have a lot of. I have about 1,000 of these 7 packs to go around, and the shipping is only $3. We reduced it on these, and they're on Flex for $9.98. So let's talk about when you order, what you're going to get here. So these are the plantings.
You're going to get 7 high-quality bare root plants which are lifted from our Dutch nurseries just before we send them to you.
Look how healthy they look already.
We're sending those plants to you at a different time in each state, so we'll never send you plants while you've got frost on the ground or it's too cold to plant them. But remember, these will give you those leaves and flowers this year. You haven't got to wait for them to establish. These will look good for you in your garden by June. So if you want to grow some of the best, most colourful, award-winning hostas in your garden, the place to order them is here today. They're available in the stores, but you may not get such a wide range of colours. You may not get such interesting varieties, which are not just award-winning, but with flowers as well. The flowers are often fragrant, and they're just like really small lilies. These are brilliant plants for ground cover. So when you grow ground cover in the garden, you've got a chance of beating the weeds. Because basically, these hostas will cover the ground so thickly and securely that the weeds won't be able to get through. And you won't have to water your garden either, because that coverage of hosta foliage and plant will lock the moisture into the ground. So ground cover is the way forward if you're looking for low maintenance care in your garden. So ground cover beneath trees, shrubs, awkward spots, maybe by that kind of awkward drain where it's always a little bit moist and sometimes it overflows. Hostas grow in dry soil as well as moist soil, so they will work in most problematic areas of your yard. And remember, this collection of 7 plants is giving you 60 square feet of coverage. Imagine that space in your garden and how you could just plug these plants into that space and cover it.
It's a really, really big space.
Stop the weeds, lock the moisture in as well.
And remember, all this for under a $20 bill. It's so much easier. The issue when you go to nurseries and things like that, and we don't poo-poo nurseries, it's all part of it, but the issue is you don't really know the condition of the plants when you buy them. You don't know how often they've been watered, how long they've been sitting in a nursery in a little tiny container.
You're also paying for things you don't need to. You're paying for the container, you're paying for the soil. But this is the raw product, and this is one of the differences with Meadow Valley. We're sending you plants directly from the nursery. You're bypassing all those extra costs that are associated with the garden centres and DIY stores. You're getting this raw material and you're getting access to better varieties, new, different and exclusive varieties.
900 left. Okay, so these are going very, very quickly. We knew they would. What's not wonderful about the Hosta collection too is, as Michael keeps saying, you put them anywhere, even areas where you've got confined areas, little spaces where you're like, I just would like some cover there. I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't necessarily need flowers, even though you'll get some. I just want something that gives me that little bits of yellow and green that kind of separate. And then if you want to mix and match flowers in between, it's great to mix with it because there are they're a wonderful background to make other flowers pop.
Of course, they are. These are the plants that help other plants to look good.
Yeah.
That is what hostas do. They're almost like that kind of, they're backing dancers for your border, aren't they?
Exactly.
They really are.
They're the choir.
But remember, they're not just for borders. I think they look fantastic in containers. And what we've made up in the studio here today is the range of hostas in silver zinc containers, which look absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Remember, it's not just colour from the leaves, but later in the summer, you've got fragrant flowers as well.
Yeah.
It's really an amazing plant.
I love that you talk about putting them in containers too, because remember, a lot of people out there live in apartments. Maybe you live in a city, and maybe you live in a high-rise, whatever, but you have a little garden out on your patio. It's so nice to have these. But even if you live in a traditional neighborhood, putting them in the pots is nice because you can move them.
Well, you can make a lovely display on the porch, can't you? And have them kind of, some of them risen at the bottom.
Onto the porch from the garden.
And you can move them around. It's almost like a kind of jigsaw garden then. So grow your hostas in containers or grow them in the border. Remember, they're so useful in the border for those difficult corners beneath trees and shrubs. If you sometimes look at that ground and think, what would ever establish there? The answer is hostas and lily of the valley as well. If there's some available on the website, that would be the perfect partner for this collection here
Michael
today.
brings up a good point. Go to hsn.com at any time and look at the other selection. I have 800 now left of these, but go check out the selection when you're trying to build your garden. You know, it's a lot of it has to do with what colors you like. We've been learning a lot about color lately from our designers, from everybody out there. We had Carlton Varney in last night. He was telling everybody how color can change your mood. Let me tell you, planting a garden and having flowers will completely change your mood. When I'm stressed out, I will walk out on my patio where I have plants and stuff like that, and it just calms you down. It's so nice. And you know, and then the butterflies come and all that good. I mean, you're creating a whole world for yourself, and you can do it for a fraction of the price that you would do if you went to the store. You go to the store, you're going to pay $6 or $7 or $8 or maybe $10 for one container plant.
But remember, this is delivered to your door.
Right, you
the
don't have to
likelihood,
drive.
if you drive anything like me, you're likely to pick up a load of plants at the garden centre and they all tip over by the time you're home. And you've got dirt everywhere all over the car and in your trunk. So why not have the plants delivered directly to your garden? 700
left. One more thing I wanted to mention too, which I love about these, is when you do buy plants from the store, and I will tell you this because it's a fact, you also can sometimes bring home insects. Because you've got that environment. When you see these, you'll see they are in pristine condition when they come, because they don't have the soil, which can be a nest. I got bitten about 100 times by fire ants from 2 plants that I had grabbed, brought over. Within seconds, I realized they were climbing up my arms, and this was in a big store, and it's a true story. And I'm like, so I would have brought those in my car. Luckily, I noticed ahead of time. These are not going to come within 6
No, these will be 100% clean, because that's how we need to dispatch them across the water to you.
Love it. All right, listen, we are down to about 600 of these to go. You're going to absolutely love when you get them. It's so much fun always working with you, buddy. You know that.
You too.
Good to see you again. When are you back?